Unlike so many of the Cubans who relocated to the United States, Napoles relocated in Mexico. A lot of people think he was a Mexican fighter. He was a great welterweight champion, in my view, the best welterweight champion in the era between Ray Robinson and Sugar Ray Leonard, so in between the two Sugar Rays. Tremendous hand speed.
Even though they were liked, I don't think they were accepted from the very beginning. They both later on became nationals, but the fact that all of a sudden you got two fighters that are fighting your own and they're beating them, it wasn't that they weren't that well liked at the beginning. Later on, when they started beating guys from outside Mexico, Mexico started saying, these are great people, these are great people. And eventually they loved them to the point where they both became nationals. Napoles, he lost to Urbina, Al Urbina, which was a Mexican idol. Then again, later on, he beat him twice. And then he was on his way up. Mantequilla was a great fighter. He was like a machine, you know, he would beat people. He fought everyone around the world, and he will fight in their own backyards if they need to be. Then he lost a controversial fight to Bill Backus.
The power wasn't here. The power was right that far. There was his power. When he made that connection right there, that's where all his power was. Right at the end of all his punches. He had such a snap. Right hand, left hand, don't matter what punches, uppercuts. I mean, I know because I got hit with them all.
And so I was waiting about 16, 18 months as the #1 challenger to get a title shot. And then I got a phone call from my manager saying, I've got some good and bad news for you. You're fighting Napoles, that's the good news. And I was made up, you know, oh, great. He said, but the bad news is in Mexico. But it wasn't bad news for me because I'd boxed there in the Olympic Games, so I knew how to prepare. And it was, you know, just wonderful to go all the way to a great city like Mexico and take the World Championship. As a young lad coming up boxing, Napoles was one of my heroes. I mean, when you mentioned the name Jose Napoles, he was the man, the kiddie, as we call him. And he had to fight under a lot of adversity. I mean, as you mentioned, he had to leave his natural home, Cuba, go and live, because they banned professional boxing, Castro, and then go and live in a foreign country like Mexico and build himself up. And after getting knocked down in the first round, from about the third onwards, my jab won the fight for me. He was a wonderful, wonderful fighter, and I'm very proud to have boxed him, and you know, I'll always hold that very dear.
We all have arguments. In my opinion, I think Napoles was the best fighter of all of them. I think he could have been better than Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez had not to take any away thing from Rodriguez, but Rodriguez had that machine, that publicity machine. He was fighting on the stable where Muhammad Ali was there. He was a Muhammad Ali boy, Angelo Dundee, all that. Well, Napoles, even though, yeah, he was recognized, got to be champion too late in his life.